Hello, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Welcome to May 2023. You're going to experience a lot of money luck this month, as well as potential romantic highlights. Add to that Jupiter, the Lord of your sign, is entering your third house. Get ready for a lot of travel to occur, not just in this month of May, but for the next year. We're going to go into a deep dive of how this looks for you in the month of May. But before we do so, my name is Lori Lothian. I am a whole sign house astrologer. I'm in the Hellenistic tradition. I am also using the tropical Western zodiac. This is not sidereal. Love asteroids and fixed stars. And if you sign up for my channel by liking, subscribing, and hitting the notifications bell, you're going to get a lot of content that teaches about the power of the 24,000 named asteroids and how they really delineate the details. The devil is in the details. If you've always wanted to learn astrology in the sense that you could be your own astrologer and time your best life, take some of that power into your own hands. I love to teach people to fish rather than giving them fish. So I'm doing my 7-week third time teaching Sky Reader, Be Your Own Astrologer, Time Your Best Life class on the 7th or 6th of May. Enrollment doors are open already. I am limiting class size. So if you want to do this, it's the last time I'm probably going to teach this class. I've already got quite a few people enrolling. And if you want to get in, check it out. The description box below gives a link to the class. There are replays. There's the evergreen housing of the content for you to use forever in my teaching site after you've taken the class. There's live Q&A calls, and there is bonus modules as well. And I check your homework as well, as best I can, me and my assistant, when you want to post your homework in the Facebook group. That's not a necessary thing, but you can do it. Check it out. You might enjoy that. Now let's talk about the sky in the month ahead. Number one, with this Jupiter energy moving into Taurus, this is important. Jupiter is the Lord of your sky, and he moves into Taurus for the first time in 12 years. This opens up a new corridor of prosperity, goodness, and luck for you. It is third house. So May 16th of this year till May of next year, you have Jupiter moving through Taurus, and it starts now, this month of May. Look forward to that. Jupiter in your third house is basically Santa Claus in your house of trips and travel, foreign trips and travel, siblings, benefiting from siblings or with siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews. And Jupiter is about your neighborhood. So you'll have an auspicious, prosperous, lovely, enjoyable neighborhood that you're living in or experiencing. And this is your online world. If you're an online Pisces doing online stuff, this expands your online world. You can do really well. I've had Jupiter in my online house as an Aquarius rising now for quite a while, and it's blown my YouTube channel up and up, and my success as an astrologer as well. So if you do online platforms and online website stuff, or you're a teacher online like I am, or you want to learn something, all of these things are super lovely for you. And they begin to show that they are that way starting on May the 16th through to the end of the month and through to next year. You have a stellium energy all month long in your third house. This is really auspicious for travel. So if you want to travel during the month of May, please do, especially even with the sun here until the third week of May. Trips you plan or trips you take are super blessed and have super positive outcomes. Mercury is a patron and protector of travelers. He's here as well and will be until June 11th. So, travel is so sanctioned for you. It's an ideal time to travel, an ideal time to learn or to teach as well. You could also find that your sibling connections are going to connect or strengthen, especially a younger sibling, but any sibling in general. Mercury is retrograding here until the 14th of May. And so you can begin to see the month of May showing up as a sibling getting in touch with you from the past, meaning that you might have been out of touch with a sibling. And now you're hearing from, connecting to, emailing, texting, or something, a sibling. If you are somebody who is a writer, Mercury here is a really good placement, and Jupiter is basically luck. Expanding your luck around writing for any Pisces will be really a theme of the month of May. And anything you write when Jupiter's here over the next year will be really lucky anyway. Like if you need to get it to an agent or whatever, you're going to have a lot of luck doing that. And yeah, so just lucky writing opportunities, lucky writing endeavors, ongoing. And if you want to learn something that's a skill-based education, like take a real estate licensing course, or even take Sky Reader with me, it's a skills-based education. Skills-based education is highlighted May 16th to next May as well. Now, that's the big news story for you, really, because Jupiter is your Lord, and I do a whole video about the Jupiter ingress into Taurus on my big 2023 playlist, but I'll be putting out a follow-up video as well, so check my channel so that you can connect to those stories as well. because they're really meaningful, to say the least, for you as a Pisces rising, when Jupiter is your most predominant and important planet. Other things going on in terms of big sky stories is Venus moving into your sexuality, romance, and children house. Now, this happens every year, and so it can bonify and bless your kids, whether they're adults or children, it doesn't matter. So starting on May the 7th to June the 5th, your children get collateral benefits from your sky. This can mean one of your children declares they're pregnant and you may become a grandparent, or that you yourself are in a fertility transit. If you're a Pisces that is in a fertility age, or your partner is, then you could become pregnant, or your partner can become pregnant May 7th to June the 5th. This is a really good transit for sex and sexuality and enjoyment and emotional intimacy and connection and affection and love. So if you're single and you're a Pisces, oh my goodness, wonderful transit to meet a wonderful new romantic partner. And if you are, especially with Jupiter in the 3rd house, this kind of romance could blossom through going to the pub, the restaurant, the local neighborhood environment. Online world dating apps are included in the 3rd house, and any romance that picks up steam during the month of May, let's say May 7th through to June the 5th, but also with Jupiter adding extra weight starting on the 16th, I'd say the 16th of May to the 11th of June are super juicy for romantic travel with a partner and having a great time and lots of pleasure and fun. Also really good for new relationships coming through travel, local neighborhood, dating apps, etc. So for singletons and those who are partnered, it's very, very positive. Expanding your pleasure, expanding your joy, expanding your romance, basically. Okay, so I guess the best part of it is the 16th of May through to around the 5th of June. And we get Jupiter working with that Venus in a whole sign sextile. And if you want to learn something new, again, the same time frame, the 16th of June, 16th of May through to the June 5th, it would be you so enjoy what you're learning. And if you're teaching, you so enjoy what you're teaching during that window of time. Well, the direct motion of Mercury finally on the 14th of the month of May is also very good, because he's been retrograding when you entered May since April 21st in your 3rd house. Again, as I mentioned, siblings from the past coming back, or you had to go back and travel to some place you've been before, you plan to travel to a place you've been before, you got to relearn something you studied before. But on the 14th, Mercury's going direct. Now you get real momentum. Things are commercial enterprises that do with trips and travel, money making through trips and travel, things to do with messaging and communicating with siblings or aunts, uncles, cousins are going to go full speed ahead on May the 14th. And so there's new developments here. Certainly contracts, negotiations, agreements to do with trips and travel, and maybe money, okay, can be activated during this transit for you. Mars is leaving Cancer, where he's been for many, many weeks. And he's going to leave the most like all of April kind of thing to May 20th, most of April to May 20th. Anyway, Mars has been in Cancer and he leaves on May 20th. And when he leaves Cancer and he's out of your 5th house, there's some positive things that can happen. Now, there's nothing terrible about Mars in Cancer. Like, he isn't a sign of his fall. And in your own life, that's something you deal with going through your 5th house every year. It could be challenges with your children, falling outs with your children during this window of time, or, challenges with your romantic or sexual life during that time of, what was the dates I gave you again? It ends on May the 20th anyway. And because Venus enters here May 7th to May the 20th, it ain't all that bad. Whatever could have been going wrong romantically, sexually, with your independent business enterprise, with your leisure travel, with your fun, play, joy, and pleasure, if anything was kind of ick, then starting on May the 7th to May 20th, because Venus is kind of bonifying the whole scene and like mitigating the damage, I don't think it's all that bad. But of course, I would say before that, before May 7th, the first 7 days of May, you still have more Mars and less Venus. So watch out for the conflicts that could occur with your children, with your romantic partner, etc. And if you're trying to get any kind of independent business ideas or projects off the ground, Mars alone there without Venus's help, I don't know, not so easy. But when Venus steps in with money and luck, yes, you can win the lottery. So you guys are May the 7th through to June 5th, play the lottery, but also, or win the games of chance, but also anything to do with independent consulting business and stuff like that. If that's part of your gig, you're trying to do your own thing, then having Venus here starting May 7th is really good. So then things start to take off for you. And with Mars still there until May 20th, May 7th to the 20th are when new business opportunities can arise that work out for you very, very well. Now, with Mars going into Leo, he's in your sixth house. This is an interesting placement. You can eliminate debt, pay down debt. You can be very proactive and full of vim and vigor. He's in the house of his joy around new work opportunities. And suddenly you are very action oriented, very decisive, and very driven and very motivated around work opportunities and work environment stuff. And if you have to clean up any problems with your health, you'll be doing that exceedingly easily with a lot of intensity and passion to be better on your health and to eliminate anything that disempowers you with your health, especially if it's an addiction or self-undoing. Mars here is good for surgery. If you need an elective surgery, yeah, go for it. He'll be here in the Leo part of the sky from May the 20th to July the 10th. So surgical procedures can be very elective here, very good for you. Time to, fix the bum knee or take the mole off that you don't like or something like that. Mars here is really, he's fiery, he's Leo, he's ambitious. So in your work life, you can be, especially if your midheaven is in Sag, you can be very Sagittarius, you can be very ambitious and professionally up level and very successful in work. And, there's a lot of luck you can have in the work environment later on when Venus joins Mars between the 5th of June and July the 10th. They're both there. Now you have luck and ambition matching together in the place of work opportunities, work endeavors, etc. And all of this work is lovingly supported by a Jupiter transit through your third house. But I will say Mars does mean working ambitiously, sometimes working hard. With Jupiter in the third, some of these work opportunities may involve trips and travel. And that's just to keep your eye on the ball that it could be a lot of travel and you may not want to do that much travel, but you're ambitious and you're lucky. So you may do it anyway. If you want to get a pet, not with Mars in the sixth house, you'll eliminate the pet. But when Venus is there, well, then you might end up with a pet, whether you wanted one or not. So keep your eye on that ball. Anyone owes you money, Venus will bring the money back home. Anybody who's owed you money ever. And with Jupiter going through a sibling house, for some of you, it could be sibling monies owed or aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews who owe you money. Money paybacks can happen, but that's a little later when Venus starts there in June through to July. So get ready for that. I'll talk about that in the June video. Now, one of the things about the sky for us all is that we're going to have these little events and then these big events, and then we're going to go through them. This is the micronutia part of the reading, right? Number one, May 1st to the 2nd, Mercury is in the heart of the sun. Mercury in the heart of the sun is like a divine download, an insight, an aha, something that special happens. And as he does this, you can sort of get some kind of new beginning. And this is on the 11 degrees of Taurus, which is your third house. A new opportunity, new beginning around travel, siblings, trips, journeys, education. I said travel. Something is kind of percolating here around the May 1st and 2nd. And there's also at the same time, unexpected surprising quality with Uranus in the sign of Taurus, where this is all going down. And Mars is sextiling this energy from your 5th house of independent business enterprise and romance. Unexpected trip, unexpected travel opportunity, unexpected work or business opportunity, unexpected work travel opportunities, things like that, May 1st, 2nd, and up to 2 weeks after, because the Cazimi may not be fully available till we see Mercury in the sky again. May the 4th, it's like a new moon, right? It's Mercury's like making a new beginning, like a new moon would be. And so you might see it up to 2 weeks after. On May the 4th and the 5th, Venus, the goddess of love and luck, is going to sextile Jupiter, the goddess of prosperity and luck, and is very lucky. And now this is while Venus is still in Gemini, and she'll be at the very end of your 4th house of land, home, property, and real estate. And it will sextile Jupiter, the god of expansion and prosperity and growth. It is in the last degrees of money. Money, property, possessions, real estate, home, land, even automobiles can activate in a positive way on the 4th and the 5th of the month. There's a square to Neptune. Be careful that you don't idealize a situation or have rose-colored glasses on, but it's less likely that that's the case because Saturn's helping stabilize your dreamy, doe-eyed, romantic, or deluded way of seeing things. And in this case, though, it really has to do with money and home stories, okay? And with Mars eventually moving into your sixth house, it could also be money, home, and rental stories. And things to do with automobiles and cars are activated here as well. You might buy or sell a car. Now, when will that be again? May 4th to the 5th. May the 5th, there's a lunar eclipse in Scorpio. This is the third eclipse in Scorpio since the Scorpio eclipse season started. You had one in May of 2022. You had one in October 25th of 22, and now here's the last one. This is all the same story in three parts. How do you let go, release, surrender? The Scorpio story. Now, that is your ninth house of foreign lands, foreign shores from your birthplace. It's things to do with foreign lands and foreign travel, overseas, shores away, higher education, dharma, spirituality, higher education, and book publishing. There's a leaking away from the ninth house. Now, this is not always bad because South Node energy, well, it leaks away tangible things, brings spiritual things instead. So a lot of you, South Node in the house of God with eclipses, have been having spiritual awakenings for the last year and into this eclipse, which doesn't wax and wane or disappear in its influence until October. So maybe a continuation of a period of time in which your spiritual life is increasing. But you're also focused more on the third house, but that's another whole eclipse video that I've already done, so I'm not going to do that again. But energetically, this is the last one, so it's probably important to pay attention. If you have a Pisces rising near the, let's say, 15th degree, minus 5 degrees on either side, 10 to 25 degrees of Pisces rising. This last eclipse has more importance to you, but it flows to your identity. It's not a harmful eclipse. It feels gentle in general for you. If you go back to October 25th, there was a new moon eclipse at 2 degrees of Scorpio. You may be able to tie those ends up. What was going on in the last part of October? Let's say October 25th to the middle of November, right? Things that you started then that have to do with foreign lands, foreign shores, higher spiritual truth and wisdom are now completing themselves here in this eclipse and extending a little further until October, stepping stones along the pathway of the same story. Then on May the 9th and 10th, the Sun conjuncts Uranus, as it does every year. This is another story to do with third house matters, siblings, foreign land, trips and travel, skills-based learning and education. So Sun and unexpected surprise. With the Sun here, solar figure masculine, happening at 18 degrees. If your Pisces is near 18 degrees, Sun and Moon rising. It could be to do with a male sibling, unexpected surprise developments, May 9th and 10th. Not positive, negative, just surprising. May the 10th through to the 13th, there's a beautiful fortunate triangle in the sky called a mini grand trine. This is going to be a great energy for all of us. For you, it's Mercury in the house of travel and education and writing, sextiling Uranus, Saturn in the house of you. You are carrying the sober-minded authority and discipline you need in life right now through to 2026, and sextiling Venus as well. Mercury sextiling Venus in Cancer in your fifth house of romantic love and children. And long story short, Venus is also trining Saturn. Venus trine Saturn is lasting love, enduring love. In terms of money, lasting prosperity, enduring prosperity. This is up in the sky for you between the 9th and the 13th of the month. Sometimes it's very practical. You may be consolidating plans to travel with a romantic partner. You may be consolidating plans to travel to see your children, or your children are traveling to you. You may also be having some money auspiciousness if you're independently employed coming through your sky, but it will involve travel. And again, the 10th to the 13th of the month. Moving forward, there's a time between the 14th and the 16th where Mars will trine Neptune. Ambitious energy, active energy towards spiritual truth and wisdom, unconditional love, visionary, spiritual warrior qualities. Now, Neptune is in the house of you. You are being given a chance in this life. It started in 2011 to be spiritually awakened. If you're ascendant in Pisces, anywhere near 27 degrees right now, you're getting a lot of Neptune. This is a very big enlightenment transit, spiritual transit. If you're a creative artist, it's up leveling you there as well. And now Mars is pitching in on the 14th and the 16th from your romantic house, from your children, from your independent business enterprise house. So you've got a bit of a glow up here. You could bring a vision into reality that you've held for a long time. It also could involve action in the area of money luck. So there's money luck helping you make your dreams come true, maybe, or your visions real on the 14th to the 16th. Could be a very romantic energy as well. Now, on the 14th to the 21st or 2nd, there's a very difficult sky for the world, and each of us will experience it differently. It's basically Jupiter square Pluto, and then later on we get a T-square with Mars getting involved. So the 14th to 21st is really, with the highlight of the 18th, Jupiter square Pluto. Now, there's nothing new about Jupiter square Pluto, but this is the first time Jupiter squares Pluto, with Pluto in Aquarius since 240 years ago. But you haven't experienced this energy, I haven't. And so in your chart, Pluto's in your 12th house. This is enlightenment, moksha, liberation. This is past life stuff. This is your self-undoing and addictions and bad habits and patterns. This is foreign revenue and wealth that you can generate from foreign countries from your birthplace. That's Pluto. That's what he's doing in your 12th house. Squaring Jupiter, the god of opportunity, in your 3rd house of travel. It can be a very financially lucrative travel opportunity if it involves foreign lands. It can also be tension between a sibling and something that's going on that's to do with your own subconscious, unconscious, or past life structures, etc. And we have some big sibling blowout tension moments, for example, around the 14th to the 21st. Now, energetically as well, it can be an older or younger sibling because of the way your chart is constructed. Also with Pluto here, I mean, ultimately Pluto is going to try to wake you up spiritually, but he can get you rich as well from international revenue sources over the next 20 years. And this is just a taste of that. And the square from Jupiter, which is going to begin to happen, well, it's not going to happen once a year because Jupiter won't be in Taurus. So you won't get another Jupiter square for a few years, for another 4 years. And I'll be in opposition then. So this is a kind of important time for you. The thing is that Mars around the 20th moves into Leo, and that is opposing that Pluto and squaring that Jupiter, creating a T-square between houses 12, 6, and 3. These are all metacosmos, intercosmos between the world's houses, but they also have real life implication. Mars is in a work house, a dating house, a pets and siblings and rentals house. He's squaring Jupiter in a travel and leisure house, opportunities house, to do with the local neighborhood or travel, because Jupiter brings opportunity. See, Jupiter's conjunct the North Node, and that's Jupiter's goodness being amplified or expanded according to the ancient tradition. Mercury, contracts, agreements, and negotiations is there. Uranus, sudden unexpected developments. And until the 20th or 21st, the sun is there, solar figures, the boss. So much I could say about it. It's hard to say. You'll have to live through it to know what it's going to be. Advice. If you're in a job you don't like, I mean, because Mars can cut you away and Pluto could be conflict and about power struggles. But for the most part, a lot of it looks like either learning, travel, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins are involved in the mix. Well, there's an opportunity for sure because of North Node Jupiter. There's all this tension about it that you're having to deal up and figure out what to do with. Mars in the 6th house could be a work colleague, combat with that person, power struggles, money struggles with Pluto. A trip you need to take for work that's a golden opportunity, but you're conflicted about it. Another way of parsing that sky. It's over though. You know, it doesn't last forever. By the 22nd, it's gone. So just the gnarly energy is building from the 14th to the 22nd. And then finally, the last thing I'm going to say is you are very likely to experience a very blessed new beginning when it comes to your local neighborhood and where you're going to live over the next year. And at the end of it all, Venus sextiles Uranus and brings you some money, luck, and some really financial goodness. But it could be money, luck, and financial goodness coming through romantic love, winning the lottery, or travel. Thanks for listening, Pisces. We're out of here. Have a great month ahead.